Good morning and welcome back to Adventurecruiser. I'm in Big Sur right now, camping with the family and another family, and I thought I'd show you what I bring on a camping trip. Now, clearly this changes every trip because I acquire new radios, like you might recognize this guy from my most recent video. That is a very cool mobile radio. Mobile, portable, tactical mobile. I think it's confused. Anyways, so here's what I bring on a camping trip and why. So let's start from left to right. So over here we have my KNG P800. Now the P800 and the BKR 9000 replicate themselves in some ways, but when I'm driving through Southern California, I like to keep the P800 on specific trunked systems to know if there are any major road issues up ahead. I will frequently use the BKR 9000 for that as well, but I always like redundancy. Then, because I am in the forest, I always bring VHF radios, because in my state, all fire systems, well, all wired-land fire systems run on the CAL FIRE net and then maybe a local net as well, but if it's big enough, it's going on the CAL FIRE net, and that's what these are for. They're also, for when my buddy and I are hiking and we're going a little farther, VHF tends to get better distance if it's line of sight. That's a whole nother argument I'm not going to get into. But 800 all band VHF. Then I have 4 KNG P400s, and I use these amongst us parents. So there are 4 parents, 12 kids? No, 8 kids. I can't count. 8 kids, 4 parents. I use these with the parents because I have my own channels and we can have our own conversation. But then because these are UHF, we can very quickly switch over to the GMRS channel that we're using on all of these for the kids. This base station, if you remember, is UHF. And so I can use my special channels on this or GMRS to the kids. For instance, right now, my son is out fishing. So I have this set to his GMRS radio, and then I can very quickly call him back and say, hey, it's breakfast time. Or, why did you not do your chores? Anything like that. So far, I really like this setup. But this setup works really well for adults. Then when you get to the kids, you come here. Now, Rocky Talkies are fantastic, and I really like them even better than the Rutevis RB17P, which I'm testing out this week. And I'll tell you why. Those are great if you are a radio aficionado yourself and you want to mess around with a lot of different settings. But in my case, whether it's my wife or my kids or my friend's wife and their kids, they're not interested in messing with the settings. They just want to be handed a radio, have it locked, and have it work really well. So that's where the Rocky Talkies come into play. Now, there was something else that I noticed about the Rocky Talkie that I really appreciated. And I'm going to blame Rutevis, but I haven't experienced it on them. I'm just going to use them in this example. When you use cheaper FRS radios or GMRS radios, you get an open squelch at the end of the transmission, frequently heard as whoosh. As you finish transmitting, the radio is delayed in closing the squelch again. I realized I haven't noticed that at all in the Rocky Talkies. And my gosh, when you have a headset or when you're out in the wilderness, you're in nature, you're enjoying this beautiful creation, the last thing you want to do is have a wah 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 followed by nobody likes that. That's just annoying. And so I really want to thank Rocky Talkie for going the extra mile for eliminating that. And obviously you can turn off the PTT beep as well, which I find horrifically annoying in all radios. But this, in a nutshell, is what we brought on our 2024 camping trip, and I couldn't be more pleased with how everything worked out. If you have any suggestions on what I should bring for 2025, let me know, or if you have questions on this setup, also leave a comment below. Now, this Easter egg is to see if one of my buddies is watching. You know who you are. That's all I've got. Have a great day.